First of all, you grew up in a poor community, single mom, some of your family members were in jail. You grew up in a tough environment. And some people that would cause resentment. Rather than resenting what you were brought into, you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. How did you do that?
You know, I always tell people that you have two options in life. You can either choose to be the victor or the victim. I chose to be a victor. I joined the military at 19 years old. I really helped out my family, and it's only in America can someone with my story really attain, you know, going from that type of environment to being on Tuesday the future congresswoman of Florida's 13th congressional district.
Turns out that is a lie. Excuse my best attempt at doing an impersonation of Maury Povich revealing the results of a lie detector test, but what is true is that this is the Congresswoman of Florida's 13th congressional district. However, the Washington Post has called everything else into question about, one, Anna Paulina Luna, if that's her real name.
When she was in the Air Force, she wore designer clothes and mentioned having nannies as a child, which casts further doubts on her claims of having this horrible childhood. She only started embracing her Hispanic heritage when she started running for office, even going so far as to change her last name.
Luna's claim that she grew up poor and isolated with her father in and out of prison was not supported by prison records or two relatives who spoke to the Post. So the question is, why is she lying? Also, why did she switch her alliance from Democrat to Republican and begin to identify as Hispanic? Well, in order to get elected.
While on the campaign trail, she often spoke of a break-in at her house, and she said that she didn't have a firearm, and that is why she is such a crusader for the Second Amendment. But her roommate says that, no, they both had guns at the time of the break-in. The traumatic break-in itself is kind of shady. She says on the campaign trail that, like, it happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know, it was, you know, horribly traumatic, but the police report says that she wasn't even home when it happened.
It's something I've said here before. If I were to do everything I do now the same way, yet spout conservative talking points, while being black, of course, I would be a star and a correspondent on conservative media. It wouldn't even be hard. And evidently, if I lied while doing it, it will probably help. They're so starved for a diverse person that claims they don't see color or some nonsense, so they can show off they're African American. Big emphasis on the possessive aspect of what I just said, that you can feed them anything. I mean, just thinking about some of the other recent stories and reports that I've done on Republicans, like Sean Hannity highlighting the newfound diversity being seen in the GOP to a room full of white people, no less, despite there being less black people now in the right side of Congress than there was in the 1870s. Conservative politicians and pundits noting Herschel Walker's skin color all of a sudden, when they usually downplay race altogether like it's necessary when they have it, but it isn't when they don't have it. And now we have another Republican claiming Jewish heritage for no reason at all. If you're drawing comparisons between Luna and her fellow GOP congressperson, George Santos, you're not alone. Although I don't think Luna committed crimes. We don't know if her transgressions are worthy of her losing her position. To some degree, all politicians lie about their platforms or promises made. But she lied about being a victim in order to be a victor, which further proves that pulling oneself up by their bootstraps is nonsense. This makes things harder for the people who actually comes from the background that she fabricated. Garbage like this creates stigma and either denies people a helping hand or shames those who take it. People need help. Representative Anna Paulina Luna had help. With that said, when Fox Business asked,
first, let me ask you about your race.
Maybe less election poll numbers and more about if a candidate is making up their racial makeup, which apparently means something to them now, until it doesn't. For more from the Young Turks, stay right here. If you haven't seen my video called Fox Hosts Clueless Over A&W Bear Scandal, then you can watch it after you click the link in the description below. You can find me at my YouTube channel called We Gonna Be Alright. My architect knows Japanese.